Great job. You've made it through the planning stage and laid a solid foundation for your blog post. Now it's time to bring your plans to life. In this lesson, you'll learn how to transform your detailed outline into the first draft of your blog post. I'll guide you through creating a skeleton post, developing engaging core sentences, and crafting the body of your post in a way that captures your reader's attention while naturally incorporating your focus key phrase. A first draft is a bit like sculpting from clay. It starts rough and shapeless. Your task is to give it form and refine it. It won't be perfect, and that's okay. The purpose is to translate your ideas into tangible text, ready for refinement and perfection in subsequent drafts. The approach I'm going to show you today is straightforward and methodical. The first thing to do is transfer our outline into whatever app or platform we're going to do our writing in. For Green Cat's post, I'm using WordPress. I used to write my posts in Google Docs or Microsoft Word and transfer them into WordPress when they were complete. But with recent improvements in WordPress, like this focus mode for distraction-free writing, I now find it easier and more streamlined to do it all within the platform. For now, let's title our blog with our focus key phrase. That will serve as a useful reminder as we're writing. Your message is going to be the basis of both the introduction and conclusion of your post, so let's paste it in twice. Now we'll add the topics as headings and the subtopics as body text. I'm also adding a placeholder after every heading for those all-important core sentences. These are the first sentence under each subheading that your reader is likely to read as they're scanning your post to decide if it's worth their time. Let's work on them next. Your core sentence should sum up the topic and subtopics that follow. It should also be compelling and encourage the reader to read on. For example, for this first section about the negative impact of traditional cat toys, the most straightforward approach would be to say something like, traditional cat toys can harbour hidden environmental costs and potentially toxic materials, putting both our planet and our feline friends at risk. Here are 5 other techniques you can use to make those core sentences compelling. Use a shocking statistic like millions of tons of pet toys end up in landfills each year. Use humour, for example, just like a naughty cat that's knocked over a houseplant, traditional cat toys are making quite a mess of our environment. Ask a question, such as, have you ever wondered what happens to the countless traditional cat toys that end up discarded? Make a provocative statement or give a controversial opinion, like, traditional cat toys aren't just filled with catnip, they're packed with potential health hazards. Directly address your reader by starting your sentence with remember or imagine or think about. For example, remember the last time your cat lost interest in a toy within minutes. You can mix and match these techniques to keep your writing fresh. And if there's a technique that particularly resonates with your brand or audience, you can use it more often and make it part of your overall approach. That puts you well on your way to developing a unique writing style and tone of voice on your brand, which is something we'll talk more about in a later lesson. You should also include your focus key phrase in your core sentences where possible. In this case, adding the words unlike eco-friendly cat toys at the start of this second sentence is a simple way of doing that. With your core sentences in place, it's time to write the rest of your post in the same methodical way. Go through each topic and subtopic, presenting information or providing evidence supporting your message. Each paragraph should start with a sentence expressing the main idea, followed by an elaboration or explanation of that idea. There are a few points to bear in mind when it comes to crafting well-structured paragraphs. Each paragraph should tackle one main idea, separated from others by white spaces. Don't put multiple subtopics into one paragraph. And unless it's done deliberately for a stylistic effect, a paragraph should contain more than one sentence. Some sections might benefit from being formatted differently. For example, this short tutorial within Green Cat's post about how to make your own toy will work best as a numbered list. Now that you're deep into your content, it's a good time to write your introduction. When crafting your introduction, your main goal should be to draw the reader in, provide an overview of what the blog post will cover, and highlight the benefits the reader will gain from the post. Your introduction should start with a hook, a compelling sentence or question designed to capture attention. Just like your core sentences, your hook could be a surprising fact, a thought provoking question, a powerful quote, or an intriguing statement. Shopify have done this brilliantly in this blog post about product liability insurance for small businesses. It sounds like quite a dry subject, doesn't it? But they've started their intro with a shocking story that gets your attention and makes it clear why insurance is so important. After hooking the reader and providing context, you should clearly state your main message. It gives the reader a clear idea of what the blog post is about and what they can expect from reading further. Your conclusion serves as the final impactful touch point with your readers, solidifying the lasting impression your content will have. In this essential section, succinctly summarise the key points you've made throughout your piece and re emphasise your central message. If you opened with a statistic or story, refer back to it in your conclusion to bring your article full circle, giving readers a satisfying sense of completion. Avoid introducing new information in this section though. The conclusion is meant to wrap up and reinforce, not to present fresh content. And of course, both your introduction and conclusion should include your focus key phrase as a natural part of the writing. Speaking of focus, if you find it difficult to focus on writing your draft, some background noise might help. I recommend Noisely. This platform offers a variety of ambient sounds such as rain, coffee shop chatter, and white noise, which helps me improve my concentration and boost productivity by creating a distraction free environment. I'm a big fan. Before you move on to your next lesson, complete your first draft using the methodical approach we've covered. Begin by converting your outline into a draft within your chosen writing app or platform. Pay special attention to your core sentences, making them as compelling as possible, and ensure that your introduction and conclusion are aligned with your core message. Use the self review checklist in your workbook to make sure you've covered everything.